Hi, Stuart Box here from Sigma, and I want to briefly discuss with you today a quality aspect of Sigma's long-standing plan. Sigma's tagline is quality, service, commitment, delivered. And we start that tagline with quality because it's extremely important to us as a company. It's part of our DNA that we provide quality products. And one of the ways that we do that is unique to our industry, and it is the Sigma heat code identification. Every product that Sigma manufactures in our foundries, every casting, let me be more specific, every casting that we manufacture has a very specific identification on that casting so that we can trace that casting back to the day in the year and the heat or the bath of metal, the heat of metal that was used to pour that casting. We know the foundry that cast it. We know everything about that casting. So on all of our cast products, you'll find a heat code. It's a unique identifier that specifically shows us who the foundry was with the first two letters. The second two numbers represent the year in which the casting was made. The next two numbers represent, the next letter represents the month in which the casting was made. The next two numbers represent the day of the month. Then you get the final numbers representing the particular heat of metal that was used to pour this fitting. This particular fitting was made at Foundry Identification CS in 2017. The month is B, so that would have been February. January is A, February is B. The 19th and the unique identifiers were ladle number P06. So you'll find that on all of our products. On the fittings, it's on the side, and on restraint products, you'll find it on the gland side of the casting, and in this particular case, this 6X17, so that's Foundry 6X 1917D, which would be April the 23rd. Now, on restraints, there's a dash and generally a number here and a follow-up number or letter here. In this particular case, it's a P. If we're looking for MTRs for you to be giving to your customers, we need the number here as well as the final ladle identifier to be able to give you the material certification for this particular casting. Quality is extremely important. This is one of the ways that we hold our supplier partners accountable and how we hold ourselves accountable to provide you with the information that you need. Thank you. Hi, it's Stuart with Laurie, and Laurie was able to watch the Sigma quality heat code marking video, and I was wondering whether you had any questions.
The only question that I had, you mentioned an MTR. What does the MTR stand for?
MTR stands for Material Test Report, and we have our supplier keep records of all the chemical properties as well as all the mechanical properties for a particular heat of metal. And all of the product that's poured out of that heat will be identified by the heat code. And we can go back and provide customers with the amount of carbon, the amount of silicon, the amount of magnesium, all of the chemicals that make the iron the right properties, as well as being able to go back and tell them what the specific tensile strength was, the yield strength, and the elongation for that one particular heat of metal.
How important is it for someone to provide the heat code in order to get a material testing report?
Well, without knowing the unique identifier on the particular casting, it's not possible to trace back to what the mechanical properties are. If somebody wants the specific mechanical properties for a specific item, we have to have the heat code.
All right, well, thank you.
Sure.